Hi, this is Laura again. This is States of Matter, and this is lesson 2 for first grade, and today we're going to be talking about the properties of liquids. Today you will continue using the sticky notes, and you will continue using the posters. Today you will only be using the liquids poster. This will help the students in filling out the first page of their student booklets labeled Properties of Matter. As you go over and you discuss different properties that you have found for liquids, you can just write them on the sticky note, put them on the poster, and this will be a resource for the students to look at while they fill out the booklets on their own. To introduce liquids, you will first start with a wooden block. You will show the students the wooden block and give them some time to kind of discuss what the properties of this block is. They can talk about how it's a cube, how it's small, how it can remind them of something such as dice. You can then put the solid cube in the cup. Once you've put it in the cup, you can put it in a plastic bag and ask the students if they noticed the property of the block, if it changed when we moved it from the cup to the bag. We can discuss this for a little while, and then you'll move on to doing the same thing, but instead with water. So you'll have a cup of water. You can allow the students to all look at this and kind of discuss it. This is a good introduction to showing them that this is a liquid. You will take a plastic bag, pour the water from the cup into the plastic bag, and ask the students if they notice anything about the property of the water. So in this case, it's a good opportunity to talk about how the shape changed. So the biggest thing to really emphasize right here is that with solids such as this block, whether it's in a bag or a cup, the solid is taking the same shape. When you have a liquid such as water and you move it from a cup to a bag, the liquid itself does not change, but the shape of it does, because liquid takes the shape of whatever container that you place it in. So you can put this aside, and what we're going to do next is we have 4 bags of different kinds of liquids. So you have vegetable oil, liquid soap, corn syrup, and molasses. Before you hand this out to the students, I would just really emphasize that they do not need to open the bags. They are sealed. They're going to have an opportunity to feel all of these materials after this portion. So this is not a time for them to open the bag and feel it. This is just really a time for them to look at it and kind of play with the bag and feel the texture of it. So this is a good time to talk about some of the properties of liquids. So they can talk about how the colors are different. The molasses is a lot darker than the hand soap. You can always also talk about the consistency. Some will notice that some are thick, some are thin, and you can spend some time talking about that with the students. You can pass this between groups or between desks, however works for your classroom. Just make sure that they do not open the bags. Once you're done with that portion, you can put those aside, and now you're going to allow the students to actually feel the materials. These are the same materials that were just in the previous bags that you had discussed with them, and this gives them a chance to actually feel the liquids that we were just touching through the bags. So each student is going to receive a paper towel. Once that happens, you can go around your classroom and you can give them each a drop of one of the materials and put it on their hand. So for example, this is corn syrup. So you can just put 1 drop on each of the students' hands and just have them use their other hand and kind of feel it and talk about it. They can discuss it with a partner or with a small group. And just, one way that they'll probably discuss with corn syrup is that it's very sticky. So after that, they can use their paper towel and you can continue through the rest of these materials. I would end with the liquid hand soap because that's a great segue to have them wash their hands at the end of this portion of the lesson. So next the students will be using their booklets, and first they're going to be making predictions, and then they're going to be making observations. So these are the same liquids that we've been working with throughout the entire lesson. You're going to give each group a set of the 4 jars, and you're going to make sure that they have their booklets out. Before they do anything, before they even touch the jars, you're going to have them make predictions. So in order to make predictions, they're going to have to think about what each of these jars would look like, what the liquid in the jars would look like if you tilted each of them to the side. So before they touch them, before they tilt them to the side, just make sure that they put in their booklets what they predict it's going to look like. You can spend some time going over that word as a vocabulary word, making sure that they understand that the prediction should be as realistic as possible, but it does not need to be absolutely correct. There's nothing wrong with the prediction not being the same as the observation. They can do this by drawing a picture, using written expression, however they see fit. After they have gone through and they've made all of their predictions, as a group, they can take each jar, tilt it to the side, they can match that with their prediction, and then make a corresponding observation next to the prediction. And again, they can either do that in a written form or they can do a drawing. After you've finished those, you can clean that portion of the project up. You can continue guiding them through the student booklet. And from there, you will be making your second mini book. This one's titled More Milk.